Thank you for joining. This is Mr. Z, your math coach and your nurses courses coach as well. My goal has been as well, always has been to do everything I can to help next generation of nurses. So we will going through different those questions, and then you have a link in the description box below. You can go back and click on that one, and you can take extra exercise. All right. So if you've been in a nursing school, you learn about a lot of stuff about dosage calculation, and we can either use dimension analysis or we can use formula to solve them. Okay. So in this question number one, there is an order to infuse 1.5 liter of 0.5 normal saline at 125 milliliter per hour. Drop factor is 10 GTT slash ml. What is the drip rate? The drip rate is drop per minute. All right. So remember, you learn that your drop factor, which is GTT per minute, you learn it's what? Volume over time, and then multiply that by drop factor. Does it make sense? Do you remember that? I just want to make sure. Okay. Now in this exercise, you find yourself with there is another volume there, and you have here. So please understand, in any exercise, anytime you are given infusion rate, which is milliliter per hours, that is your pump rate, which is your speed with which the med will be infused. Anytime you've been given an infusion rate and a drop factor, do not use other quantity. I say that again. In any exercise, when they ask you to solve for drop per minute, you have another volume and you have infusion rate. Do not use the other volume. This right there, 125 milliliter per hours and your drop factor. That's the only information you're gonna use. So the 125, that's gonna be your volume that you're gonna use. Per hours, it means for each hours we are infusing 125. So that hour right there, that will be your time. As you know, drop per minute, you can see right there, drop per minute is telling you that your time must be in minutes, right? Great. So 1 hour equal how many minutes? 1 hour equals 60 minutes, correct? All right. So now it makes much easier for us to plug this formula, right? So our volume is going to be what? It's going to be 125 divided by 60 minutes, and you will multiply that by what? By your drop factor, and your drop factor is 10. All right, so get your calculator. Mr. Z, I don't understand. Well, my dear friend, we just started. Be patient. All right, so what you got right there? 125 multiply that by 10, divide that by 60. So we have 20.8. Let's do the other one around. 125 divided by 60 times 10. So you got 20.8. A drip rate has to be a whole number. You cannot have a fraction of a drip. So 20.8. So once you round that to a whole number, it's going to be 21. Correct? Okay. 21 drop per minute. All right. So this is how you can go ahead and solve that as well. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and solve that as a dimension analysis. All right. So, with the dimension analysis, dear friend, what matter, you have to know a couple things. All right. So what are we looking? We are looking drop per minute. So you have here drop per minute. This is what we are looking. So two things that you have to know for dimension analysis. Since my end product, what I'm looking is a drop per minute. So drop right there has to be on the top, minute has to be on the bottom. I have to look at my exercise. What information do I know that I have a drop? But that drop has to be on top. So look at here. I have here my drop factor, which is 10 drop in 1 ml, correct? So I need to end up with the drop per minute. So dimension analysis is an old method of canceling unit. So you can stay only with relevant unit what you are looking. I need only to end up with the drop per minute. That's it. So in this exercise, I got 10 drop in 1 ml. So I'm going to write right there. All right. 10. You see that? 10 drop per ml. I want you to see that. Now, there is a line that is here. That line is invisible, but it's right there. So, one of the things about dimension analysis, you cannot have two units. They are the same on the same line. Like I have 1 ml here. If I have other problem in my exercise, I cannot have side by side another ml, another data with ml. Same thing with drop. Since my drop is on the top, I cannot have nothing else beside here that will end up, that will have a drop. So the next thing I'm gonna do, I'll draw my line right there. So do I need ml part of my end product? Look at it. No, I just need a drop per minute. So in my problem, I don't need this ml right here. So I need to find what other exercise, other data do I have in my problem that I can cancel out. But remember, since I have ml here, I cannot have another ml here. You can tell. My ml in my problem has to be on the top. So look at what I have. I have 125. So since this right here, it's a couple, it's a bundle, it's a ratio. For every 1 hour, we are giving 125 ml. So since my ml here, I need to cancel ml. I need to have another thing right there on the top that I can cancel that one. So you just stay with me when I'm gonna try to answer this call. You know, I'm home, so we gotta take care of the kid, right? So give me 1 minute. I'm gonna put this in pause, and then we will try to all right. So let's make sure that we understand what we're talking about here, because we solve that as a formula. Now we do dimension analysis. So we say the dimension analysis, I need to hand up to cancel everything. The only thing I need to stay with, that gotta be drop on top, minute on the bottom, right? So from that point, what happening? So if I have ml here, I have to have something that have ml on the top so I can cancel that ml. But this 125 come up as a bundle that have hour. So my hour right there, it's gotta be right there on the top. But dear friend, do I need hour part of my problem? No, I don't need it. I need to end up with minute in the bottom. So since I have hour here, well, I need to have hour on the top, so it can cancel that. So this is where you're gonna pull your conversion unit that you know, your conversion factor that you know. But that conversion factor has to give you 1. So it cannot change nothing. So since I have to have a minute right there on the bottom. So look at, what do you know? If I multiply any number by 1, I'm still gonna have the same number, correct? So my conversion number, when I apply them, it gotta be the total value has to be only 1. It cannot change nothing part of my original data. So what do I know? I know 1 hour equal how many minutes? 60 minutes. All right. So if I do 1 hour divided by 60 minutes, it give me what? It give me 1. Because of 60 minutes equal 1 hour. 1 hour divided by 1 hour give me 1. So from this point, you check yourself if you will cancel all your unit and stay only with the dropper. Let's check. Check it out. I can cancel that one. Good. Can I cancel hour and that one? Good. So my only unit I'm going to have now is going to be drop and minute. So from that point, what do? I will go ahead and multiply 10 by 125 and divide that by 60. So are you going to have the same question? Yes, you will have the same answer. Like before when we use the formula. 10, you multiply that by 25 and I divide that by 60. And once you do that one, you still have 21. All right, let's move on to the next one. So next one, what are we looking? We are looking milliliter per hour. All right, so you have to know milliliter per hour, that is your infusion rate. As your infusion rate, it can go 2 ways if you use the formula. Number 1, your infusion rate, okay, you can either use volume over time, or you can use dosage calculation formula, which is your order over available, you multiply by quantity. But for you to use volume over time, well, you have to have a time part of your problem. If you look at that exercise, you can say, okay, my 500 milliliter, if you see that as your volume, that's fine. But what time do you have? You see, there is no other time, all right? So the next thing for you to use is going to be order time quantity divided by available. But this order right there has to be expressed in the basic shape. For you to use this dosage calculation to solve this problem, your dosage, your order must be what? It has to be in the basic shape of gram per hour, milligram per hours, microgram per hours, unit per hours, or MEQ per hour. You need your order to be in one of those shapes. If they are not, you gotta bring them back. So if I look at my order right here, I can tell I see milligram per hours. That sounds like same thing as a milligram per hour, right? So, but this is right here is based on the body weight. So that's the reason why you have a 140 pound. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get, that is my order right there, because I gotta bring it out to the basic shape of a milligram per hour. 1 gram and 500 milliliter was that one is your available and quantity. All right. So your available and quantity always goes together. That's what we call your concentration. So for every kilogram, we are giving 5 milligram per hour. So we need to know how many kilogram this person weighs. So I got 140 pounds. How do I go from 140 pounds to kilogram? I have to divide that by 2.2. 140 divided by 2.2. Now I got 63.6. We can stay right there. 63.6. So you can see the first question, the answer was 21. So 63.6. All right. So from there, I get my weight in kilogram. I don't like to round at this level. I want to round at the end. I will go down there and multiply that by 5. So when I multiply that by 5, now I got 318. So my new order right here, it will be 318. Now what? 318.2 milligram per hour. But Mr. Z, what happened to the kilogram? When we convert 140 pound to kilogram, and we multiply that, because that right there, it means for every kilogram, we are giving only 5 milligram per hour. But this person does not weigh 1 kilogram. This person weighs 63 kilograms. So from that, we're going to get your 63, you multiply by 5, all right? If you go to Walmart, you're buying a pile of banana, and they say the banana right there, it's a 55 cents a pound. Are you going to pay 55 cents? No, you have to put that on the scale first. And from there, the computer will calculate how many pounds that banana represents times the price for a pound. That's the same thing we do here. Now, this is not going to be your order. Now, your available, it's 1 gram, and your quantity is 500 ml. Before you do anything, you have to make sure that your order and your available are within the same family. All right? So, since I have a gram, I got milligram, I got to do something. So, from there, what I do? I have my order, which is 318.2 milligram per hour. I'm going to multiply that one by quantity, which is 500 ml. Since I need to end up only with milliliter per hour, I need to cancel milligram. My available, it's a gram, so I convert a gram to milligram, it becomes 1000 milligram. From there, what happened? You can see milligram and milligram can cancel out. So what I'm going to do, I'll go down there, do 318.2, multiply that by 500, and then I divided that by 8,000. And once you do that, you can see your answer is 159. All right? You see that? All right, so let's keep going. So let's, we're gonna erase that. Mr. Z, don't erase. Oh, why not? You can just rewind the video and you can see that, right? Oh, so I erase. So we just gonna go down to number 3. All right, so number 3, which one we have? So you do have 10 milligram per kilogram every 6 hours. So the patient weighs 36 pounds. They ask you to find the signal dose for this child. So if the patient is taking 10 milligram per kilogram and this patient weighs 36 pounds, so we're going to get 36 divided by 2.2. So we got 16.36 kilogram. So you got to multiply that by 10. And once you do that, you got 163.6 right there. If you got to round to the nearest 10, there you go. All right, be careful the way you round. You see, you have 163.5 and you have a 163.6. That's the reason why I do advise students, do not round at the beginning, round at the end. So like in that instance of 36 pounds, I divide that by 2.2. I do not want to round at this level right here. I want to go and multiply it down by 10 milligram. From there, then I can go ahead and round. We just did this exercise a few seconds ago. So if you remember, drop per minute, what we're going to do, you're going to have here. This is going to be the volume you're going to use. That's going to be the time you're going to use. So we're going to have a volume. Drop per minute equal volume over time multiplied by drop factor. Your volume, do not use that volume over there. This is the volume and time you're going to use. So now I'm going to have a volume 60 ml divided by time. Since it's a drip rate, a drop per minute, my time must be in a minute. So it becomes 60 minutes. Then I have to multiply that by 15 drop. All right. So when you do that, that cancel out. So your answer is going to be 15. All right. So let's go ahead and erase this right here. Then go to number 5. Number 5 and 6. On number 5, so which one you have? We just did this a few minutes ago. Same concept. How do you solve milliliter per hour from a microgram per kilogram per minute? The first step you have to do, convert the pound, multiply that by the weight in the kilogram. Since in the pound, I divide that by 2.2, I got 79.7. So I'll go ahead, multiply that one by 79.5, multiply that by 10. When I do that, I have now 795.5 microgram per minute. Remember, we learned you need this to be as a microgram per hour. So how we do? We have to multiply the top one by 60 divided by 1 minute. Once you multiply that by 60, now you will have 47,272.3. Now I have a microgram per hour. I have to, that's my order now. I have to multiply that one by quantity because we're using the dosage calculation. My quantity is 500 ml, but I have a microgram here. I have a gram, so you gotta do something. So you gotta divide this by a million because I wanna convert 1 gram to microgram. So I have a million. So what we have there, multiply that by 500, and then we're gonna divide that by 1 million because 1 gram equal 1,000 milligram equal 1 million microgram. By doing like that, so we got 23.86. All right, but the question is, are you gonna use a 23.86 or I'm gonna use 24? You cannot use a 23.86. You gotta use 24 because you need it to be a whole number. Correct? Almost there, dear friend. Number 6, same concept. All right, we just did the number 6, number 5. So you can do number 6 according to what we did over there. I mean, practice make perfect, okay? So let's go down there, find number 7. You can do number 7 exactly like we did on number 5 and 6, correct? What question do you have? Any question you may have, just put that in the comment. And this is how we learn. We gotta learn every day. So now we're gonna do, we did that one. Number 7, the same concept like we did number 8. So let's look at number 8. So number 8, what we have a 22 kilogram. So 22 kilogram is where it's falling here, 22 kilogram. The easy way to find the maintenance fluid, if your weight is not in a kilogram, bring that to kilogram. So we are giving 1,500 milliliter plus 20 milliliter per kilogram for every weight that go above 20. Be careful. This does not mean go get the 20 multiplied by 22. No. This, it's a rule right there. You're gonna do 20 milliliter not for every kilogram, but only for a kilogram that go above 20. So if that person weigh 22 kilograms, how many kilograms go above 22? So I'm gonna use 2 kilograms. So to solve this problem, get your weight, that you know your weight in a kilogram. Get your weight minus whatever is there, which is 20. Now, once you got 2, now go ahead and multiply that right there. When I multiply by 20, now my answer that I'm going to have, go ahead and add that with that one. So I'm going to add 1,500. So now I got 40 plus 1,500 is 1,540. So that right there is going to be the correct answer. Let's do number 9. Let's see. Same concept. Number 9, you got 15 kilogram. Where 15 kilogram is right here on the second range. So I'm going to get the 15 minus 10. That 10 kilogram right there. So now I got what? I got 5. Now I'm going to get 5. I'm going to times that by 50 ml. So I multiply that by 5. What do I have? I got 250. Now my 250 that I have, I'll go ahead and I'm going to add that with 1,000. So now I got 1250. You see? Right there. Easy. So practice make perfect. All right? So let's erase this because I'm writing on the screen. So for me to move on to another one, we have to erase that. So let's look at number 10. All right, so number 10, which one you got? Where you have one drip. The physician order IV drip 1 gram over 2 hours. The medication supply in a 3 gram 100 ml. What is the flow rate that you will use in that particular question? All right, the physician or the calcium, which is 1 gram over 2 hours. So that is the order right there. You have 1 gram. You know, you need that to be 1 gram per hour. But think about this. Here, I have 1 gram per 2 hours. You need your basic shape, your order to be per hour, gram per hour. So I can simplify 1 by 2. So once I do that, which one I have? I'm going to have a 0.5 gram per hour. So this is my order. I need to multiply that one by quantity. My quantity is 100 ml and divide by my available is 3 gram. All right, I got gram over there, it's good. Remember, we say infusion rate, you can use either volume over time or you can use the dosage calculation, which is order over available time quantity. You know, your order and available, your quantity and your available always go together. So let's get a 0.5. You multiply that by 100 and divide that by 3. So you got 16.6. Since it's a infusion rate, it has to be a whole number. You got 17. All right? So let's look at question number 11 before we can erase. So 11, that's the same thing. Double check. 1 gram over 2 hours and supplies, 3 gram, calculate the flow rate. Yeah, that's the same thing. It just saw that question came twice. So let's go ahead and erase this. Now we go to question number 12. What is the weight? Think about that, 35 kilogram. Where 35 is on number 3 because anything above 20, that 35 above 20. So to solve that, get to 35 minus that 20. Now I got 15. I'm going to get that 15 times 20. When I do that, now I got 300. Now I'm going to get the 300 add to 1500. So when I add to 1500, now I have what? 1800 right there. This is the total free you will be given to the patient. All right, so we went over those stuff earlier, but we can solve that again. How do you solve a milliliter per hour from a microgram per kilogram per minute? Step number 1, get your microgram multiplied by the weight in kilogram. That's step number 1. So 200 divided by 2.2, and we're going to multiply that by 6. So now I have that 545.45. Step number 2, multiply your answer by 60 because we got to convert to that by per hours. You multiply by 60. All right. Now, since I got microgram, over there I got milligram, I got to make sure if I got microgram, that one got to be microgram as well. Step number 3, multiply your answer by quantity, which is 250. A last step is divide by available, but the available has to be in microgram. Since I got 500 milligram in microgram, it has to be 500 and 1,000. By doing like that, I got 16.36. As you know, I have to round that to the nearest whole number, so it has to be 16. So what I did, step number 1, I'm going to get a 6 microgram, and then per kilogram minute, I multiply that by the weight in kilogram. My weight is 200 pounds divided by 2.2. Now I got 90.9. 99.9. 90.9. Once you do that, that kilogram and that kilogram will cancel out, correct? So next, in the second step now, once you do that, multiply that by 6. Now I got 545.5 what? Microgram per minute. I need to convert to this to go to microgram per hour. So I'm going to multiply this by what? I multiply that by 60 minutes, divide that by 1 hour. When I do like that, that minute and minute will cancel out. Our 60 minutes divided by 1 hour is 1. So it's not going to change on my initial value, but it's helping me to cancel that unit. So that's why you see step number 2, you go ahead and multiply by 60. So once you multiply by 60, now you have 32,727.27. So step number 3, you multiply whatever you get on your calculator right there, multiply that by quantity. Your quantity is 250. And divide that by available. By available, it's in the milligram, it has to be in the microgram. Divide that by 500,000. And once you do that one, your answer is going to be 16. All right. So let's go ahead and erase this right here. Now we can do number 14 and number 15. That's where we're going to end for today. You need more exercise? Click on the description below. You can practice. Okay? Now, what do we have here? You have a order that is given 0.1 milligram per kilogram per dose every 4 to 6 hours as needed. Now the supply is a 5 milligram and 5 ml. The child weighs 65 pounds. They ask you what is the single dose range for this child. All right. So, dear friend, those questions sometimes can be mistaken. Since that it just is a single dose, they just say what is the single dose for this child. They should never talk about range there because there's no range as far as the recommended old. But you know, people make a mistake. We're all human, all right? So anytime they ask you to find a single dose or a safe dose, you're not gonna go all the way down to solve for milliliter. No. Get your weight, 65, convert that to kilogram, all right? Get your calculator, 65 divided by 2.2. Now you got 29.5. Don't round at that level. Go down there now. Multiply that by 0.1. Why? Because we are giving 0.1 milligram for every kilogram. But my patient weighs more than that. So, once you multiply that one, you have a 2.95. They say round to the nearest 100. So let's see. Let's go back there. So, let's go back there. We're going to get 0.65 divided by 2.2. You got 29.5. Okay, let's see. Let's round to that 29.55. Multiply by 0.1. You got 2.96. There we go. In this particular exercise, they round the weight to the nearest 100 before they can plug that in. All right. So last one. Which one you got? What is the safe dose range? Let's look at it. Again, they're talking about range. There's not a range there. Just say single dose. We good. Now, this right here, it's saying 14 milligram per kilogram a day, divided in equal dose every 12 hours. It means what? 14 milligram per kilogram a day, this is a 24-hour dose. Since we are looking for single dose, it means those kind of things right here, once you have them, you have to do what? You have to divide that by whatever is telling you there so you can give. Because that one is a daily dose. You cannot give that daily dose at one time. No. So we gotta find what is the weight. It's 45 pounds. Let's go down there. Get to 45 divided by 2.2. Now you got 20.45. Go ahead and multiply that by 14. Now once you multiply that by 14, that right there is your daily dose. But since you have to divide that by equal every 12 hours, you have to divide that by 2. And once you do that, your answer, they say, round to the nearest 100. All right? So you got to have 143. So we're going to round 45 by 2.2. We're going to round that to the nearest 100 first. So now we got 20.45. So this weight right there is 20.45 kilogram. So what we do have? We know 14 milligram per kilogram. All right? So we need to cancel the kilogram so we can know if we are giving 14 milligram per kilogram, this patient right there weigh 20.45. What do we have to do? We put to 20.45 kilogram there. So this kilogram and that kilogram will cancel out. So let's do 20.45 times 14. Now you got 286.3. 286.3. This right here, it's a daily dose. We are looking a single dose because we are giving that every 12 hours. It means we are giving only 2 doses a day. So you divide that by 2. And once you do that, you got 143.15. You see that? All right. But if you did not round your kilogram, your pound to the nearest 100, yeah, you will have a long number. That's why when the instructor grade student test, they can look at the margin of error. There's someone that put 143, someone that put 143.16. So the instructor can give a grade for that one. All right, so this is conclude our exercise for today. Well, I hope you have a chance to learn. I hope you have a chance to review. All right, I really hope you had a chance to review. Practice make perfect. Go back there and keep practicing. Did I say that right? Yeah. Keep practicing. All right, so we're gonna go down there. Clear. But Mr. Z, why you keep it clearing that? Oh, my friend, I am writing over the screen. So I have to clear that one. Okay? All right. Talk to you later, and we almost finish the minute that was allowed to us. Okay? All right. If you have any question, feel free to put in the comment section. All right. I hope you enjoy. And as I always say, those videos are intended to any nursing student. They are there. Either you're about to go to your RN school, or you finish, you want to get your master, anything you want to do. All right. So this is exactly the place to be. It's not a place you come just to drink a quick cup of coffee, you go run away. No. It's a place you come, you learn and learn and learn again. Practice make perfect. God bless you. Take care of yourself, and don't forget to take care of each other. All right? Bye-bye.